If you want this to be the year that you are unmanipulatable, then you need to watch this whole video. Someone actually commented on one of my videos. It was a power plays video, which is a series I started on TikTok basically to help people not be manipulated. Nothing bothers me more than people trying to disempower someone else or manipulate someone else, whether it's at work, whether it's in relationships, even, parent-child dynamics. I don't like when someone is in some sort of position of power and they try to take advantage of somebody. So I literally created an entire series to help people respond in those situations. And someone actually asked a really, really good question. It was kind of an accusation, but still, it was a good question. And they responded saying, so you're just manipulating them back? Isn't that the same thing but worse? I can see an argument where people think that out manipulating a manipulator, because it is what it is worse because you're just recreating that abusive dynamic. That's not what it is though. What makes it different is the person who is manipulating you, the person who, whether it's a toxic ex, whether it's a toxic boss at work, the person who's manipulating you is doing so intentionally. They are intending to hurt you or keep you down or dim your light. What you're doing when you out manipulate them is withholding the thing that they're trying to manipulate, which is your emotions, through the intention of protecting yourself. So in no way, shape, or form in this video am I going to be teaching you how to hurt people. I do agree that an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. I do want to equip you with tools to respond in a way that protects yourself from manipulative people. But first, I want to talk about why you've historically been so easy to manipulate or gaslight. The key in any manipulative dynamic is not just potentially a power imbalance, whether there's a real hierarchy like at work, or you're in a relationship where someone is more abusive and you have been surviving and succumbing to their abuse, right? There's a power dynamic, but more importantly than that power dynamic, there is an understanding of your emotions. Now, emotions can literally be a weapon or a shield, depending on who has them. When you are faced with someone who's trying to manipulate you, the most important and protective thing that you can do, the most urgent thing that you can do, is withhold those emotions. When someone is trying to manipulate you and take advantage of you, they need a window into your soul. They need to know how you're feeling, how you're reacting, so that they can figure out what to do next. So if you have a toxic partner who is cheating on you and is trying to figure out how to gaslight you about the fact that they're cheating on you, it might not be the wisest thing for you to tell them everything you know and show them how you're reacting. Because if you sense that this person is trying to manipulate and emotionally abuse you, all that's doing is showing your full hand of cards and letting them know what to play next. You're literally handing over your cards and letting them know how to play you. Same thing with a toxic boss. Do you really think that if your boss was toxic and crossing all these boundaries and trying to ruin your life, that you should pour out your heart about how it makes you feel so that they can have exactly the knowledge on what you're feeling and experiencing so that they can go to HR and spin it on you? Why would you weaponize the person who's hurting you with the weapons that they're intent on using against you? So the number one thing to be unmanipulatable is when you feel like you're being manipulated. Don't let that person understand what's going on in your head, and don't let that person understand what is going on emotionally. I was watching White Lotus with my husband, and Ahmed knows me really well at this point. I'm in a very healthy, loving, trusting, safe relationship. I still believe that every relationship, whether it's a romantic one, whether it's a sibling one, is a negotiation. Every human being was put on this earth to fight for their own survival needs or things that they want, their desires. Sometimes your desires clash with someone else in your life that you love and respect. When my husband and I are trying to figure out what to watch on Netflix, it's a negotiation of each person trying to get what they want. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And not every single time that someone is manipulating you, that means that they're an abusive person. I'm sure you've manipulated people in the past. I'm sure if you have children, you manipulate the hell out of them sometimes to get them to eat their food. Manipulation isn't always this crazy bad thing that we try to make it out to be. It all goes back to what these people's intentions are. But anyway, I just wanted to clear some of that up right now. Ahmed and I were sitting down watching White Lotus. This was months ago. And I don't want to kill anything, so I'm not going to tell you like what episode or what was happening. Long story short, without like killing or spoiling anything in this show, because it's such a good show and you should totally go watch it. One of the characters has a partner, and she found something that could potentially be incriminating about her partner, that he could have been cheating on her. Instead of going and telling him immediately, she hid the thing that she found and kind of played out the rest of the day or the rest of the 2 days, like kind of watching him. And immediately when Ahmed saw that happen, he's like, that is literally how you would have acted. And I just started laughing from a place of like, I felt so understood, but also like, dang, do you think I'm crazy? But 100%, I don't even like to talk about that because I don't speak that stuff on my relationship. But if or historically in the past, when I caught someone in something, let's say someone said something about me and I caught them saying it, and they didn't know that I caught them saying it. Or let's say, you know, with a toxic ex that I had in the past, I found out certain things. He had no idea that I found them out. I kept that information for so long until the right moment, because I'm not stupid. If you are idiotic and insensitive enough to hurt me by doing those things, then how can I put you gaslighting me past you? Like, you, of course, if you're gonna go cheat on me, what makes me think that you won't gaslight me if I confront you about cheating on me? Why the hell, as an intelligent woman, would I trust the same person who hurt me with their behaviors to reassure me when I talk to them about why they hurt me? Now, honestly, like, I do think that people deserve a chance to explain. You also need to make sure that you are in the right position to not be gaslit. And that's why you need to be very intentional about the information that you release to that person and the way that you do it. If you go up to them like, I just saw these text messages that you're texting this girl and it's making me so sad, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough for you. You've literally handed them on a silver platter all the information and emotions that they could use. For a manipulator, all they're thinking, number one, gaslight her about the fact that I was texting another girl. We'll figure that out. That'll be easy. Number two, she said she just wants to feel good enough, so let me make her feel good enough. Let me go buy her this. Let me talk to her like that. Let me take her out. You've literally given them exactly the weapons that they're going to use against you to keep you in a toxic dynamic. I don't want that for you. So I need you to be a little bit smarter. I need you to have more discernment. I need you to have more discipline. Do not show someone who has just shown you that they're ready to hurt you. Do not show them and hand them the exact weapons that they would continue to hurt you with. Like, that makes no sense, my love. No sense. When you're dealing with an emotionally abusive or manipulative romantic partner or even friend, the other thing you need to be ready to do is create your own closure. I read this book recently called Never Split the Difference, and it's written by a guy who's literally a hostage negotiator. And he talked about how one of the most important things in these critical, life-changing, life or death negotiations is understanding what the other party wants. Once you can understand what the other party wants, you're able to have conversations to get what you want. If what you want is closure, my love, you can create that. If you tell this person you need closure, what do you think they're gonna do? If they want you to stay in this toxic relationship, what do you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it? No, they're going to prolong the period where you keep chasing after this thing like a carrot and a stick. You're constantly chasing the closure. This happened actually with my toxic relationship of 4+ years. I was done. And at the point where I decided I was done, I decided that that meant I was gonna create my own closure, because I'm not about to depend on someone who lies to me to give me the thing that I think I need. Like, I don't need him to give me closure. I got the information that I needed. I know how I feel. That's enough closure. What I did is I didn't tell him I was done, okay? Because had I told him I was done, I know he would have just done everything to win me back. And at that point, even though my mind was so sure that I was done, I know emotionally I was too vulnerable to have him come and try to pull out all the stops. Like, I know they would have worked on me. So I wasn't very clear about my feelings and my thoughts. Like I just said, I was prepared to create my own closure, and I started limiting contact. But every time, and this is the only time, I'm very honest. I'm an extremely honest person, and it can sometimes bite me in the butt. But this is the one time where I do condone being less straightforward and even, you know, telling some white lies. Every time my ex would try to text me to hang out, I would just say like, oh, I'm studying for my GMAT. Oh, I'm busy, this and that. And so I'd make up all these excuses, but still give enough to where it wasn't obvious that I was trying to get away, right? But I wasn't clear about my feelings. Had I hit him up like, you know, honestly, this isn't working for me. I'm really sad about this, and this made me feel like this, he would have known exactly what he needed to do to win me back in that situation. So what I did was I withheld those emotions and those thoughts, and I was prepared to create my own closure, which is what I worked on during that time where I was like weaning off contact, eventually to a point where there was no contact. I had created my own closure. I bought myself that time, so that at the point where he caught on to what I was doing and tried to manipulate me, 110% tried to gaslight me, try to manipulate me, try to make me feel guilty, all of the things, I had already created my own closure. So this is what I need you to understand. Please do not be naive. Do not trust the manipulator with the ingredients to cook up some random story that would then get you back in that position to be manipulated. You need to be strong enough and discerning enough to withhold the information that should be withheld and create your own closure. Have the power within you to create your own closure so that you're not depending on them for something. Because once again, if they know that you want something, that is the thing they're going to withhold to keep you vulnerable. This is literally how you become unmanipulatable. You understand your emotions so well, and you understand that not everybody deserves to know everything about how you're feeling and thinking, especially not the people prepared to weaponize that against you. And that you understand nobody has the power to determine how your story ends in that chapter. Like, you write your own story. So you don't need them as a supporting character. If they no longer fit your narrative, if they no longer are somebody who is safe for you, you can write them out of your script. Just write them out. You don't need closure. You know, we watch all these shows and people get killed off because they did something crazy in the real world, and we might think about it for 2 seconds, but then we're like, okay, whatever. The show literally goes on, and you just literally forget that their character ever existed. That's how it can be for you too. Nobody has power over you. You are writing your own story, and your emotions are uniquely yours to protect and give out when you feel like it's safe. Let me know if you're down to try this, and if you have any questions about this. I love you so much. And as always, stay powerful, my loves.